8. Good morning, girls. We are having social today. Okay, it is lesson number 3. It's lesson number 3 from unit 7. And this lesson is about competitive advantage, page number 146. So it's page number 146, competitive advantage. Now this lesson is about, as you can see in the picture, there are many people running along and one of them is excelling them. So this this lesson is all about how different corporations, different institutions have. Just a minute, let me add my to the lesson. Okay, good morning, Tala. Good morning, guys. So, girls, we are having social. It is page number 146. Good morning, Tala. It is page number 146 and it's lesson 3, competitive advantage. The lesson is about those institutes who want to stand out in this competitive business world. Okay, now as we know that we have different products available in the market, and sometimes the same product is produced by a number of companies, by a number of factories, and a number of different producers, you can say. So in order to stand out the crowd and be distinct in the market, the producers try to do something that I okay. So producers try to seek something that make them stand out the crowd. They want to be different in some way, so their products is sold more and more. Because of the multiplicity and changing desires and abilities of consumers, producers constantly seek to satisfy those desires in order to achieve profits. So I can explain it to you with this picture. Just look at this picture. Now there are 4 people in a race, and one just has an advantage of a round ball. Okay, so it's easy for him to drag it, to move it, than those who are dragging the squares, the cubes. So that's how it works. When you have an advantage, it means there is some quality, and either in your product or in your strategy that makes or helps you to stand out the crowd, to have maximum profit. And why do they do this? Why do they need an advantage? An advantage they need so that they can win the race. So that they can win the race for what? For making profits. Then every institute, every producer, every manufacturer is looking for profits. So if there is any advantage that they can have that makes them stand out and that makes them earn more and more profits, make more and more profits, then that advantage is called competitive advantage. Now see the following examples which may give a competitive advantage. For example, let's take the example of Albake. Okay, now since this is highly liked, there's a hype about this restaurant, and a lot of people love to try their chicken and other things. So now they have expanded their business. They have opened more and more branches all over the country. This first started in Mecca, I guess, and then they moved to other cities. So now they have more branches. So this is one way. This is one kind of competitive advantage that an institution can have. It means one owns restaurants branches in many cities. Okay, so this is a competitive advantage. So the more branches you have, the more profits you will make. Instead, as compared to someone who has just one branch in just one city. So obviously, this is a competitive advantage that you can sell more, you can make more profits. The next example is a distinct taste. For example, if your product has a distinct taste, if it is having a quality that is not found in other things, in other similar products, then this is also a competitive advantage. For example, let's take the example of Florida's natural juices. Because of the taste, because of their freshness, and because look, as they have written, not from concentrate, squeezed from our fresh oranges. So this makes them stand out the other juice brands. Okay, so there is a distinct taste, there is a distinct or a special quality that makes your product stand out. That's also a competitive advantage. That's just one example. There are many others. Now, then we have low cost and high quality. Now, if a producer can produce things with low cost by using either advanced technology or by any means, and the quality is almost the same as those of high brands, as those of other products that have high prices, then this is your competitive advantage. People can find, when a consumer can find a similar product with a similar quality at a lower price, people tend they will tend to buy that instead of something that is already expensive. Okay, so that's again a competitive advantage. Low cost, high quality. As you can see here, Red Tag produces clothes, manufactures clothes that are relatively less expensive than Zara's, and they are very good in quality. So good for the consumers. Next is advanced technology. This is one more competitive advantage that a manufacturer can have, which is an advanced technology. As you know, we used to have Nokia back in days, and Samsung with its more advanced features and specifications and body and all, it just beat Nokia at that time. Later on, iPhone took over the market and beat both Nokia and Samsung with its more advanced technology, with its smarter features and faster functioning and all. So faster processors and all. So that's how if you have a technology that is new, that is attractive, it will definitely become a competitive advantage for any institution, whether it's mobile phones, whether it's other electronics or any other thing. So there are now some factors, okay? There are factors that give rise to competitive advantage. They can be internal or they can be external. When we talk about internal factors, it means creative capabilities in the product or strategies or the use technology. As seen in the previous example, the restaurant strategy is to increase its fame through multiple branches, while the company exploited innovative capacity in the production of distinguished flavor of juice. In the case of the garment factory, modern machines have been used to produce at a lower cost. So these are the internal factors that lead to have advantage. Either you have a strategy, for example, for opening many branches, or maybe you have a new innovative technology, or maybe you have modern machines that cut down your cost of the product, or you have something specific in your product, maybe perhaps it's taste or something. Now, There are also some external factors. The external factor means that the quick responses to external changes of the manufacturer. For example, if there is winter's arriving, okay, winter's coming, and now the tendency of people's buying would be towards winter clothes, light winter clothing, socks, as you can see here in the picture, socks and all winter clothing, high boots, gloves, scarves, and jackets. So this would be the priority of consumer because of the season. This is an external factor. So when so maybe a manufacturer would take advantage of this time and the tendency of people interest or what they want to buy and start manufacturing these products so that they would be sold, or they, if he's already producing it, he would just kind of update them or advertise them more, and that's how he can get more profit. On the other hand, for example, you can see some CCTV cameras over here. Why did I give you this example? Now, considering the external factors, if in case there are a lot of thefts and robberies happening around, more and more people would be interested to buy such things that can help them tackle with such thefts and robberies and all, to be safe, to stay safe. So this is an external factor. Something is happening around which is leading to more interest of buying such products. So a manufacturer can take advantage of it and start manufacturing something that is needed in that particular location, area, or in that particular time. So that's external factor. Also, external factors include if you have, like for example, if people are now more inclined toward buying things that have very smart technology, just like smart keys for cars or smart watches. So that's also a way a manufacturer, a producer can try to grab what's going on in the market, what people like these days, and that's how he can react respectively by producing the same or by giving them the same thing that they want. The trader who has imported smartphones has also created a competitive advantage through the rapid reaction to the changing technology and consumer needs. So it's all with the changing technology, with the changing interest of consumers, and with the changing technology. And these are the external factors. Now, sustaining competitive advantage. So, is it possible that if you have one competitive advantage, if you have a distinct taste in your juice and you're selling it, and a lot of people are buying it, and you are ruling over the market, is it possible that you can go on with it for a longer period of time? How can you sustain the market with that? For how long? Like, for how long can you sustain? An institution may be successful in achieving a competitive advantage, but soon others may be able to imitate or copy the product or the service, and therefore the competitive advantage will disappear. The factors that led to the existence of a competitive advantage will affect the ease or difficulty of imitating the product or service. The more these the more these factors are difficult to transport and to imitate, the more the competitive advantage will. So you will have more period of competitive advantage in the market if it is difficult for others to copy, to imitate the same idea as yours, or to innovate the same formula for your product as yours, or to apply the same technology in their product as yours. So that's how you can sustain in the market if your quality, if your strategy, whatever the factors that we read before, are difficult to be copied or to be imitated. But if one can do, then obviously your rule is over. You don't have that much, like now you don't have that part in the market. You don't have that much of the or that much of profit that you were earning, because now there is a share. Now your share is cut down. So that's how it goes. There are two main types of competitive advantage. Cost advantage. Now there are the two kinds, the two main kinds: cost advantage and differentiation advantage. In the case of cost advantage, it is the ability of some institution to produce or sell the same product at a lower price than other competitors. So a cost advantage is when you can produce a good at a lower cost. Hence, you can sell it at a lower price, which will attract more consumers than high-priced items. Okay, then the consumers that will go for the high price. So most of the consumers would definitely go for the low price if they find the same quality. So that's how a producer can have either a cost advantage or a differentiation advantage. Now, what is a differentiation advantage? As you can see here in the picture, medical equipments, medical machineries, those are some products that are not made easily by anybody. Okay, so there are very few scarce producers who can actually produce such equipments with technology, with a lot of uniqueness. So in the case of differentiation advantage, it is the ability of some institution to produce various products that are unique and not available in the market. So there are two ways that you can rule the market. Either you cut down your cost and hence you sell things at a lower price with the same quality, with a good quality, or you have some uniqueness in your product. Either it's very advanced, either there is some technology that others don't have, or this is something very innovative. So that's how there are two competitive advantages that one can have. Main strategy of the competitive advantage. Now these are the strategies. If it is cost leadership strategy, cost leadership, it means this strategy is mainly based on reducing cost while maintaining an acceptable level of quality. Differentiation strategy is this strategy is being able to offer products or services distinct from those offered by the competing companies. So if you have a product that is having a quality that is distinct from other products, it will be a differentiation strategy. Yes, but teacher, the produce that are unique are in the market. The produce that are unique are in the market. Yes, they are in the market, and that's why they're leading the market. That's my point. I'm not saying that somebody cannot produce something unique. I'm saying that those who are having unique products and they are in the market earn more profits, and that's how they sustain more with that competitive advantage, because this uniqueness in their products is their competitive advantage. Okay, they take advantage of that quality, of that uniqueness, and hence earn more and more profits. Do you understand this? It's not that somebody cannot produce it. I'm saying to somebody, if somebody has produced it, produced it. For example, iPhone 11 Pro has three cameras now, right? It has a wide angle picture. It can take wide angle pictures. This is a technology which other phones may not have. And this property of it, this feature is making it more and more popular all over, right? So that's the point. So that's differentiation strategy. That is differentiation strategy. When you have a product that is different from the others, it is different from Huawei, it is different from Samsung, it is different from Nokia. So that's what makes it stand out the crowd and hence have biggest share in the market and more consumers. So number three is focus strategy. Now focus strategy is when, as I talked earlier about the external factors, how external factors can lead to having an advantage. For example, I can take advantage of the season and produce items that are good for that particular season or that particular time. Or for example, take example of the current situation. In the current situation, people are inclined towards buying. They are so much interested and panicked over buying, for example, sanitizers and masks and gloves and all other safety like disinfectants. So this is how those companies who are producing such things are making maximum profits at this current in this current situation, right? People are buying other things less than they are buying these such items. And if you look at it at a bigger in a bigger frame, people out in Europe, in Western world, they are panic buying, they're panic shopping for over tissue rolls and food items. So that's how these external factors can also help you lead the market by having a competitive advantage. That's about the differentiation strategy, focus strategy. I will just read it out for you, the focus strategy. In this strategy, the organization focuses on a certain segment of consumers and tries to meet their demands. Therefore, the institution in this case aims to achieve excellence in products or price or both. So sometimes they target their consumers. For example, I'm going to target only women. I'm going to produce only makeup items for them. So that's how I can make a strategy which is focused on a particular group of people. Or maybe some companies, some producers are producing items for only babies. So that's how you can focus on some group of people and produce something of their interest. Next is some global companies have been able to produce products at high quality and low price. This has given these companies a significant share in the global market. Thus, they have been able to increase their profits, which helped them later to develop more advanced technology. Now, the lesson is done, and we will do the workbook now. Here's the workbook, page 76. Define the competitive advantage. Here's the answer. Every institution is seeking to be having an advantage by which it can compete with the rest of the institutions, distinguish it from the others, and lead to increased profits. If there's any question, please write down. Number 2, competitive advantages arise from a combination of factors. Mention them. So there are two factors, either internal or external. Next is how, if you are writing, I will stay here for a while until you're done. Okay, so the next question is on the same page, question number 3, how can we sustain a competitive advantage? We can sustain a competitive advantage if the factors that led to the existence of competitive advantage are difficult to imitate and difficult to transport. So if they are difficult to be copied by anybody, so you have chances to sustain a competitive advantage. I don't understand the difference between internal and external. Okay, let me explain it to you again. But let me finish this workbook first and then I'll explain it again. Okay, let's write it down first and then we'll see. Now mention main types of competitive advantage. There is either a, now there are two types of competitive advantages, which are cost advantage and differentiation advantage. Now, girls, you need to understand the types of competitive advantages and the factors that lead to competitive advantage. I think you're being confused between these both. Let me explain it to you later. Just write it first. And then it's 877. Question number 6 is by the way cancelled. So we have only question number 4 here. Mention main strategies of competitive advantage. Now strategies that can become or that can become or make you have a competitive advantage or cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, or focus strategy. All right. So cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, or focus strategy. Now let me go back to this question that Aya asked, which is the difference between internal and external. Internal and external. Okay, let me explain it to you now. Internal factors are the strategies that we just discussed, okay? Internal factors are the factors of the company itself. Now, for example, they have something distinct in the taste of their juice, or they are producing clothes at a lower cost with modern machinery perhaps, or they have some advanced technology in their mobile phones, they have some advanced features, or they have many branches of a restaurant open in many cities, okay, in many places. Now these are the factors that are actually internal factors of a producer, of a manufacturer, that lead to have a competitive advantage. This is their advantage. For example, if I'm having a juice company which has a distinct taste, this is my advantage. Okay, this is my competitive advantage. If I'm the producer, this is my competitive advantage. I have made a juice with such a distinct taste. Of course, I have made it, right? So I have done something. I have used some technique which makes it so delicious, so tasty, or maybe I'm just using, I'm not using preservatives, I'm not using other traditional ways of making juices. So my way of making a juice is different, of producing a juice is different. This is my own idea. So if it is your idea, if the producer's idea, this is called internal factor. For example, let's take the example of red tag. If I have a machinery if I have an advanced machine which cuts down my cost of producing a shirt, okay, which makes it like I don't have to spend a lot of money to produce a shirt with a good quality, to make a shirt with a good quality. If I don't have to spend a lot to make a shirt. Now please remember, I'm not spending to buy a shirt, to make a shirt. If I'm not spending a lot to make a shirt, of course, then of course I can sell it at a lower price because I didn't already paid much to produce it. This is my, now it can be because of my machinery, or maybe I have less number of workers, or whatever, okay, or maybe I'm getting the raw material at a very low price. So that there can be various factors that help me have an advantage of making products at a low cost and good quality, and then hence selling them at low price. So this is my advantage, this is my strategy, this is something I have done. This is internal within the company, within the, these are internal factors, okay. I'm having maybe good with the machine, so this machine is an internal factor. This machine that is helping me cut down my cost is an internal factor. Likewise, the iPhones, let's take the example of iPhone. If they have some technology, if they have some technology which makes them stand out, which is different than others, this is their internal factor. This is a factor that is, this is an internal factor that helps them have a competitive advantage, okay. But all of these ideas of having a distinct property of a product, of having many branches, opening many branches, having some technology. For example, I have some scientists working in my company who can give me more and more ideas of how I can update my phone, how I can make it more and more smarter and more advanced. So this is my advantage, right? These are internal factors. I'm having good people who are giving me good ideas. Okay, I have more money to open more and more branches. I have I have, for example, some good machines that make me have low cost. So all these are internal factors that lead to have a competitive advantage. But now there are external factors also. External factors is when I do not have anything distinctive in my, for example, in my production. I'm making the usual products, but I'm looking at the external changes happening. For example, the change of season, the change of weather, or the change of uh, teacher. I didn't understand. Let me close this chat box. Okay, so if there are changes in the security level of people, now people are more interested in keeping their security and about they are more concerned about their safety. These are extent. Maybe it is happening because of the ongoing thefts and robberies. They are scared that people might like steal something from their house or anything. So such things, such incidents, such accidents lead to a change in consumers' taste. Okay, so they are now more interested in buying a CCTV cameras. Otherwise, no one would care about it. So there are external factors that can lead you to have a competitive advantage. Now, if there is a shift in the interest of consumer, okay, in the taste of the consumer, a producer can take advantage from it. Now there are these, so that's why these are called external factors. For example, people these days are interested in buying, one second, watches with smart watches. Okay, they are interested in buying smart key cars with smart keys, smart access. So this can probably provoke a producer to produce things that are of their interest. If he produces things that are of their interest, if he can, and if he produces, so he can have a competitive advantage. So this thing can lead to him having a competitive advantage. So you understand now that what is the difference between internal factors? So these are factors. These are not competitive advantage. These are just factors. So there is a shift in season, there is a shift in people's interest, there is a shift in technologies, and people are now, yes, Aya. So you understand, Aya, completely? If yes, just write okay, okay. So, so you're welcome. So that's how internal and external factors can lead you to have an advantage. Clear? Clear? And that's the end. I hope you just copied down the answers so that you don't have to wait for it. Okay. You're welcome, Tana. Okay, girls, so I will stop right here and we will meet tomorrow. I probably will do the. What are we doing in literature? Can you please write down? I just forgot. What lesson did we take? What story? It was, what story was it? Fly something. Yeah, yeah, to fly. Yes. Did we do the worksheet of to fly? Tomorrow's Friday? No, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday? Who told you? Oh, yes, tomorrow's Friday. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. It's totally slipped out of my mind. Okay, tomorrow's Friday. Okay, I'm sorry guys. So let's meet on Sunday. Have a good weekend. Bye.